Welcome back. My name is Autumn Erling from The Real Deal, sponsored by Get On Track. I am so glad that I am back with you here today. Needless to say, there were several variables from keeping me from seeing you. The housing market, the depression now in the housing market, as well as our banks not lending to our borrowers. Well, I must share with you, we are actually coming up on the 57th presidential election, November 6, 2012. The American people are hesitant, and also now, after our briefing with the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the leaders in the White House are also hesitant. We had a briefing that was shown to us throughout all the media on Wednesday, June 22nd, 2012, with our chairman of the Federal Reserve, Benjamin Bernanke. We do not know or have a precise read on why the slower pace of growth is persisting in our economy. But maybe some of the headwinds that we have been concerned about, such as the weakness in the financial sector and the weakness in the housing sector, has slowed the pace of the economy. But I don't know about you, but I don't get this. We had the mortgage meltdown crisis approximately 2007. Now, as far as I know, mortgages are attached to homes. So it is quite evident that if people are not going to be paying their mortgages, then eventually there is going to be a decline so far as the sales of homes, so far as obtaining mortgages, and now so far as the amount of people that are leaving their homes and the amount of foreclosures. As far as I'm concerned, it was inevitable. Yes, in a recession and in a depression, real estate is the last thing to turn around. But due to the mortgage meltdown crisis that we had in 2007, it was inevitable it was going to turn around. As quick as we had the bubble, as quick as it would fall. Now, you've heard of things such as crisis. We all have physical crisis and we have health crisis in our life. But when we have those crises, we give immediate attention. If we need to, we go to the doctor, we go to the emergency room, we see doctors, and we have it taken care of. But our governmental crisis that we have not had any type of replacement, or we have not had any bandage so far as security in our financial sector to say that we are living in the normal life of our economy. So what are we to do now? As we have seen in the past year, our interest rates can soar quickly, especially if our investors lose confidence in the ability of our leaders, our country, to manage our fiscal policy. Our creditors and investors will not lend money to our government. But may I ask you a question? Who would lend money to a government who is in debt relative to the national income that is rising today? That is a very, very hard thing to deal with. And that is exactly what's happening. Our country is going into debt. But no, don't let me tell you wrong. Our bailout to the banks and our bailout to our corporations, yes, Wall Street is back in business again, making their mega bucks that they needed to. But now, what has happened to Main Street? It's almost like a tug of war. You have our political leaders on one side, then you have Wall Street on the other. But who's in the middle? We as the American people, Main Street, and we are being squeezed. You know, before we were very much interested in reaching that American dream, but unfortunately that American dream has been lost, not because of our own doing, it's because of what has happened in our economy. Unfortunately, because of our economy and the decrease and the decline of productive growth, inflation is on the rise. It is indicated that inflation will rise to 2.3 to 2.5% within the next year. And that price is gauged and measured upon the consumer spending. So what does that mean? Consumer spending will decrease, as well as products so far as making and manufacturing will decrease, or inflation will rise. But they are saying this will exclude food and energy. Our debt is dynamic, extremely dynamic. Reality is now kicking in. This is the real deal. This is something that we have to deal with now, and we as people have to come together. I heard a statement the other day that with the spirit and the cooperation of our American people, we can get back strong. But why do we elect our presidents today? We have faith in them, and they are our leaders. Don't get me wrong. President Obama has done a superb job up until this point, but our economy is very, very serious. The unemployment rate now is at 9.1%, and it's now being indicated it will increase. Why? Because if we don't get our fiscal policy at home in order, the decline of our quality of life will go down. Yes, the release and the withdrawal of our 10,000 troops in Afghanistan is wonderful. I absolutely applaud that that's been done. The undertaking of Osama bin Laden, that is absolutely wonderful, and that was a beautiful job that was done. But I have a question. What happens to our troops when they come home? Are they coming home to the American dream? Are they coming home to an economy, to a house that they got for their wives, to see that it's actually being appraised and now they can move or do something with their family? What is going to happen to our troops that come home? Are they still going to get the same benefits? Are the families still going to get the same benefits? We don't know yet, but yes, they are coming home, and thank God that finally we are ending a war. But now they're saying it's the beginning of the end of a 10-year war. But we have a war here in our country. We have a war of our economy that we have to deal with. We have to deal with the American people now. We are very, very important. So what are we to do about this governmental crisis? What are we to do? I ask you. If President Obama is working very diligently, but we have approximately until November 6th, of 2012, before our new president is elected. There's a lot of turnaround that needs to be done. I'm not saying it can't be done, but we do not want to be victims of anyone's trials and errors anymore. We are tired of it. We want the American dream back. Now, as China buys up the assets in America, as well as tracts and tracts of land, we are losing financial power. But as unemployment decreases, inflation increases. It is time to get back our tomorrow. It is time for us to live our life. It is time for our Main Street to be taken care of. As a friend, do not fall into the abyss of this economy. Do not fall into their depression. You have to take control of your life today. Autumn as your friend will give you the real deal. Have your mind conceive back your life. Have your heart believe and acquire what is yours. Once again, this is The Real Deal by Autumn Erling. And I look forward to you seeing The Real Deal book release nationwide, September 15th. Thank you. This is your friend Autumn Erling. And remember to always keep a smile.